friends, welcome to today's prediction on Betkraft. Today is another beautiful Thursday morning, the 20th day of June 2024. All right, there's a lot of games that's going on across the globe at the moment, and the European Championship is actually the main focus at the moment, and we have three games, lined up in the European Championship, where Slovenia will be coming up against Serbia. Also have Denmark who will be up against England. Very, very tough match. Familiar foes coming to meet each other once again, and we also have the likes of Spain and Italy who will be vying it out, to themselves tonight, and with also a few other games, club matches that we put together, alongside the European Championship games. All right, and in a short while we'll be looking at these teams one after the other, and also we'll talk about how they will fare in this very encounter. So yeah, without further ado, for those of us who are coming across our video for the first time, who are yet to subscribe, kindly hit that the subscription button down there so that you do not miss out on our subsequent games that will be coming on this channel on daily basis. Okay, that being said, let's head to the business of the day. And today we started with the first game for the day, which is the European Championship match where Slovenia will be up against Serbia, and we could see that how Slovenia have fared in the past 20 games. We see that they've been able to achieve 13 wins. They've also had 5 draws as well as 2 losses, but in the process they've been able to score 35 goals, conceding 17. And their away side, Serbia, in the past 20 games that they had so far, they've been able to achieve 9 wins, but they've also had 3 draws as well as 8 losses. They have scored 35 goals, but also they have conceded 29. And taking it down to the recent encounters, in the past 5 games that both sides have seen, the home side Slovenia have been able to achieve 2 wins as well as 3 draws in the past 5 games. We saw them playing at a 1-1 draw against Denmark in the first group match, for the home side, and also their away side Serbia have also been able to achieve 2 wins as well as 3 losses in the past 5 games, and we saw them losing out to England in the first group match, where they lost out by 1-0 to England. All right, they've been looking to make amends for the lost points in this very one, and this very encounter is going to be seeing that both sides are scoring goals, and we do expect to see a minimum of 2 goals in this very one, and over 1.5. That's what we chose for this very encounter, over 1.5, and that takes us to the very next for the day. Also in European Championship, where we have Denmark who will be meeting familiar foes England, right, in the second match of the day. And we could see that for the home side, Denmark, they've been able to win 11 games out of the past 20 that they played so far. They've also had 4 draws as well as 5 losses, but they've been able to score 31 and conceded 18 goals, while England, on the other hand, have been able to achieve 13 wins in the past 20 games that they had so far, and they've also had 4 draws as well as 3 losses, and they've been able to score 45 goals and have conceded 13. It goes to show that the very strong side, they've scored more goals and they've conceded a very small amount of goals in the past 20 games that they played so far. So when you look at the situation, how they fared in recent occasions, you see that Denmark have been very, very tight. They've in the past 5 games that they had so far, they've not lost any. They've been able to win 3, and they've also had 2 draws. Their first match of this championship, we saw them playing at a 1-1 draw against Slovenia. So, and they also have been able to achieve 3 wins out of those past 5 games. England, on the other hand, have been able to achieve just 2 wins. They've had 2 losses as well as 1 draw. We saw them winning their first match against Serbia by 1-0. All right, and as well as a win that they achieved against Bosnia and Herzegovina, but they also lost out to Iceland and Brazil in this year. So putting all that together, we know that in this very encounter, we know that Denmark actually defeated England the last time they met in UEFA Nations League, and England will be looking to give them a payback for that very defeat. And we do expect a very intense match in this very one. So we do expect heated encounter, and that would actually result to corner kicks. So in this very game, we chose a corner verdict, and we expect to see a minimum of 8 corners in these very encounters. Over 7.5 corner, that's our verdict for that very game. And that takes us to the next. The next that we have is also in European Championship, where we have Spain who will be up against Italy. And when you look at the past 20 for both sides, we see that the home side, Spain, have been able to achieve 13 wins out of those past 20 games that they had so far. They've also had 4 draws as well as 3 losses, and they've been able to score, it will be 55 goals in the process, but they've also conceded 15 goals. And away side, Italy, on the other hand, have been able to achieve 13 wins out of the past 20 games as well. They've also had 3 draws and also 4 losses in the past 20 games that they had so far. And when you look at goal score, they've been able to score 35, but they've also conceded 18 goals, in the process. And taking it down to how they fared from their recent games, you could see that in the past 5 games for Spain, they've been able to achieve 3 wins in the past 5 games, but they've also had 1 draw as well as 1 loss. That loss was in the friendly against Colombia, and in their first match of this very campaign, they won Croatia by 3 goals to 0. It goes to show that Spain is doing very well at the moment. And we also saw them defeating Northern Ireland prior to this actually their last friendly before the tournament. They defeated Northern Ireland by 5 goals to 1. So it goes to show their intent, and they're actually doing very well at the moment. And also the other side, Italy, have been able to achieve 4 wins in the past 5 games that they had so far, and they've been able to achieve 1 draw as well. And it goes to show that they are pretty solid at the moment. And in the past 5 games that they played so far, they only conceded 1 goal in the past 5 games that they played out so far. It goes to show you how tight these guys are. They've not been conceding a lot of goals, and they've been winning their matches. So it is going to be a very, very tough game, and it's a very tough one to call. And we also saw the past 3 head-to-head meetings of both sides. I've always seen Spain, finding their way against Italy, defeating Italy on those 3 occasions. So the last time they met was in June last year, in UEFA Nations League, and Spain also defeated Italy by 2 goals to 1 on that occasion. So in this very game, it's a very difficult one to call, but we also, knowing that it's going to be an intense game, we also resorted to corner kick verdict in this very one. We expect to see a minimum of 8 corners in this very one. So over 7.5 corners, that's what we expect to see in this very encounter. Alright, that takes us to the very next game for the day, and the next game for the day is in Iceland, where we have Afrodin who will be up against the IBV, and the home side have been able to achieve 3 wins in the past 6 games, and they've also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw in the past 6 games that they had so far. And the away side, on the other hand, have managed to achieve 2 wins and 3 draws as well as 1 loss in the past 6. So when you take it down to how both sides fared from home and away perspective, you can see that the home side, from home, they've been able to achieve 5 wins from home, but they've also had 3 losses and also 2 draws playing from home. And the away side, on the other hand, I've seen 3 wins, 3 draws as well as 4 losses playing from away. And it is not it is goals that is actually very, very, very predominant in this their recent encounter. See that for the home side, or 7 times out of 10, they've been able to achieve a scoreline that is over 2.5, and their away side, on the other hand, have as well seen over 2.5 on 8 occasions out of 10 games that they played so far. So, and also, when you put all that together, you see that it is goals that is quite a higher possibility in this very game. So we do expect to see a minimum of 3 goals in this very encounter, and over 2.5. That's what we expect for this very game. That's our verdict, and that takes us to the next. And the next is also in Iceland, where we have a Keflavik who will be up against Trota Reykjavik. And the home side have been able to achieve 2 wins. They've had 4 draws, and the away side have managed just 1 win, 1 draw, and they have lost 4 games in the past 6 encounters. And when you take it down to how they fared from home and away, you can see that the home side have been able to achieve 5 wins from home. They've also had 3 draws as well as 2 losses, and the away side, on the other hand, have managed just 1 win from away, but have had 2 draws as well as 7 losses playing from away. All right, it goes to show that they've lost 70% of their away games. It means that they're not doing very well, especially when they're playing from away. So when you look at how they fared, you could see that the home side also have been able to achieve over 2.5 goals in nine games out of 10, and the away side also have seen over 2.5 in nine of their away games out of 10 encounters. So we do expect to see an over 2.5 in this. We're seeing that even in the last 5 head-to-head for both sides have actually seen a scoreline that is actually over 2.5. So in this very encounter, we expect to see a minimum of 3 goals in this one also. Over 2.5, that's our verdict. And that will take us to the next game, and which happens to be the last for the day. And that game is in Finland, second division, where we have Academia who will be up against KTP. And Academia have been able to achieve just 1 win in the past 6 games, but they've had 5 draws. And away side KTP have managed to achieve 4 wins, 1 draw, as well as 1 loss in the past 6 recent encounters. And down to how both sides fared from home and away perspective, you can see that the home side from home, out of the past 10 home games that they had so far, they've been able to achieve 5 wins. They've also had 2 losses as well as 3 draws. But the away side, on the other hand, have also been able to achieve 5 wins from away. They've also had 4 losses and 1 draw playing from away. And taking a look at the recent head-to-head meetings for both sides, you can see that KTP, have been quite dominant. Seeing that the last time they met, which was in April of this year, we saw KTP defeat this side by 5 goals to 1. Alright, and prior to that, also the last head-to-head meeting, KTP also defeated this side by 1 goal to 0. So we do expect a repeat win for the away side, who actually have shown their dominance against the home side, defeating them by 5 goals to 1 in the last meeting. So we do expect an away win in this very one. So away win, that's our verdict, and that concludes our prediction for you on Betkraft today. I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope your ticket goes green. And also remember to play responsibly. It's only a football game, it can go either way. Right, that being said, tomorrow is another day, and we'll be coming up with our predictions. And until then, keep winning.